Well, for more on those protests, we are now joined by Azadeh Pourzand. She's a researcher at the School of Oriental and African Studies at the University of London, and she focuses on women and activism in Iran. Now, the demonstrations don't seem to be dying down. Do you think this time the protesters may succeed?
Yes, and this time around, I would say it has been a monumental moment in the history of resilience of the Iranian people against the Islamic Republic. In a way, continuation of many years of resilience and resistance, but also a monumental moment. I believe that, as your report said, at this point, we see essentially warlike scenes, footages coming from the country, with the government, as usual, not shying away from using lethal force and cracking down, but also with the people sort of really showing a kind of collective wisdom and strategy, collective leadership on how to sustain the protest onto strikes, onto neighborhood level protests. And also, as we speak, there seems to be some movement on ways to involve others in the society who may not necessarily be able to actively come out in the street and protest. And so I believe that the change has already happened. The world has seen that the Islamic Republic has no legitimacy among a very large segment of the population, in particular women and youth. And from here on, if there was ever any doubt, basically it's about the world having to decide whether or not they want to engage a regime as brutal as the Islamic Republic.
You said the world has noticed by now. Is that true? How do you view the response so far from the international community to what's happening?
Yes, I mean, for those of us who have been following the situation of human rights in Iran closely for years, I personally find it sad that many children and others had to die in the past few weeks for the world to finally, after years and years, to truly acknowledge what is happening in the country. What is happening in the country is not new to many of us, and the repression has been ongoing. However, we are very much celebrating the attention that the media and the various people, constituencies and governments around the world have given to the issue. And personally, I wish that it can be sustained and with the leadership of governments, countries like Germany, so that this regime is not any further engaged and taken as a serious world player. But also, I personally wish that the Global South and the people of the Global South would also understand that their support would mean a lot to the Iranian people.
Now, Iran's Chief Justice, a hardliner really, has called for dialogue with those who oppose the regime. Do you think such dialogue is possible and will be meaningful?
There's so much going on, online that I thought, I think the best way to answer your question is there are two slogans. There's one slogan today being chanted out at University of Tehran saying, their slogan is dialogue while they're pointing the gun at us. And I also saw a very popular tweet that has been going around viral in the past couple of days, putting a photo of Gina Mahsa Amini when she was brain dead at the hospital, saying, Gina, wake up, they want to have a dialogue with you. So this is it's as ridiculous as much of a joke as I think it is, and the slogan and the tweet that I mentioned, I think, capture it perfectly.
Azadeh Pourzand, a researcher at the School of Oriental and African Studies at the University of London. Thank you very much.